Hello, everyone. Welcome. I hope you are in some comfy clothes, maybe burning a candle of your favorite scent. You've got some incense going, nice quiet place in your house. We are going to do a special kind of yoga today. I'm not Portuguese, but I'm going to try my best. This is going to be yoga for saudade. That's almost a very hard word to translate. It's a yearning, a longing for something, missing something. And I think a lot of us can relate to that feeling right now, whether we're missing our friends and family, we're missing being able to do the things that we used to be able to do, missing the restaurants, the places that we used to go to that may never be back again. So it's not meant to be, to be a class that dwells on sadness, but any and all emotional responses are normal, and this is a safe place, completely accepted. I personally designed this class after I had returned home from visiting my mother, and it is always really tough to leave her and come back to my home. Even though I love Seattle, I definitely miss her a lot. And as soon as I leave, I just get really, really sad about how I don't get to see her all the time anymore. So we are just going to try and move through the experience, what we're feeling, just in this next hour or so, and let it flow. So we're going to start out with a mudra or a seal that is meant to direct the energy in specific ways throughout the body. We're going to start with Eagle Seal or Garuda Mudra. It is specifically meant to assist with the Vata energy in the body. If you follow Ayurvedic energy models, it also can help release any negative emotions, and it just kind of gives us a moment to bring some awareness into ourselves. So with the Eagle Mudra, you'll take your hands out in front of you, palms up. Bring the right palm over the left palm. Interlace the thumbs. Spread out the fingers. And then we're going to bring those to the chest. See if you can feel your heartbeat. Make sure you're in a nice, comfortable, seated position. Bring awareness to your breathing. The feeling of your chest going up and down under your palms. Back is nice and tall. Shoulders away from the ears. Close your eyes. And starting to deepen your breathing. So we are coming together to spend this time diving into awareness of these feelings, like saudade. experiencing the ups and the downs of energy, and spending some time opening the heart. As we drop into the present moment, can you think of anything positive that has come into your life in this period? Even if it's something small, we can be grateful. Keep taking nice, deep breaths in and out. Gently bring your awareness back to your breathing. Open your eyes. Release your hands to your lap. Take a nice deep breath. Can you find a tiny moment of peace? All right. Gently come to your hands and knees, nice and slow, into tabletop, wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. We'll start with cat-cow. First with the cow. Inhale, dropping the belly, lifting the crown of the head and the tailbone toward the ceiling. Exhale, rounding the back, pushing through the hands, arching the spine like the cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Drop the belly when you exhale, lift the tailbone and the head. When you exhale, tuck the chin, push the spine toward the ceiling. Just keep moving like this with your own breath. 3 more breaths. In and out. Once you've finished that third breath, get ready for child's pose. Bring the knees wider, big toes touch behind you, sink back into the heels. Walk the hands forward, melting the chest toward the floor, bringing the forehead to the mat. And taking some deep breaths in and out, letting the body surrender. Opening up the hips. Take two more nice, long inhale and exhale breaths in this position. And then bring your hands back under your shoulders. Push yourself up. Bring yourself into tabletop, please. Back to your hands and knees. We're going to thread the needle. Opening up the shoulders, twisting the body. Start with the right hand. Take a nice deep breath. Inhale, lift that right hand up toward the ceiling, reaching it all the way. Exhale, bring your arm underneath the body. Slide it along the floor gently. Lower your shoulder and your head to the floor. Level out your hips. Feel the stretch along the back of the shoulder. Keep the core nice and tight. Hips should be right above your knees. One more deep breath here. And push your way back up into tabletop. You're going to switch arms. Nice big breath in. Lift that left hand up toward the ceiling. Really stretch it out. And then exhale. Tuck it underneath you. Coming across the chest, across the body. Lowering the shoulder. And then that ear to the floor. Nice level hip. Keep breathing. One more nice big breath here. And push back up into tabletop. Walk your hands forward and pop up into plank. Make sure your back is nice and straight, core is tight. One long line along the back side of the body, heels pressing toward the back side of the room. Breathe in and out just like you normally would. Make us nice and strong. All right, gently lower the knees to the ground. Untuck the toes. Just lower the chest and the forehead to the floor. Palms will be right below the shoulders. We're going to do a little bit of baby cobra. Point your toes. Zip your legs together, nice and strong. Relax for just a moment. And then on the next inhale, without putting any weight into the hands, lift the head, the shoulders, and the chest off the floor into that back bend for cobra. Make sure the legs are nice and strong. One big breath here, and release the forehead back to the floor. We'll do this one more time. Nice deep breath. Make sure those toes are pointed. Legs are one solid chunk. Active. With the palms, the hands under the shoulders. As you inhale, lift the upper body. Arch the back. Gaze forward. Exhale, release your forehead back down to the mat. Push yourself back up into tabletop. Hands and knees. And then we're going to stretch everything out in extended puppy pose. So keeping your knees under your hips. Walk your hands forward. Allow your chest to melt toward the floor. Forehead to the floor. If having your hands directly above you is a little bit too much for your shoulders, bring them out to the side. Try and keep them active. Keep breathing. Let the body just relax into this pose. Heart is melting toward the mat. Hips are up in the air. This can also be done with a block under your forehead if this is a little bit too deep. All right, gently walk your arms back. Bring yourself back up into tabletop. and come on to your belly. So the setup for one-arm auspicious pose is going to be similar to cobra, but then we're going to do some twisting of the body. So set your palms up underneath the shoulders, and then what I'll have you do first, extend that right arm out, straight away from your body, like a T. And then you're going to start to push into that right hand. Now, if you have a little bit more room to stretch that chest out, what you can do is you can bend the knee on that top leg, set the sole of the foot on the floor right behind your knee. Maybe relax that ear toward the ground. All right, take one more breath here, in and out, and roll back onto your belly so we can switch sides. All right, remember the setup's just like cobra, so put both of your palms underneath your shoulders. This time you're going to extend your right arm. And then you're going to push your torso away from the mat with that left hand. This is a nice stretch for you. Stay here with your legs extended. You can always bend that top knee. Put the sole of the foot on the floor behind your knee. And breathe. All right, one more breath here. And then roll back onto your belly. Take a moment here. Release the arms down alongside your body. Let the shoulders relax. And slowly roll yourself onto your back. Let's get set up for bridge, please. So your knees are going to be bent, about hip width apart for the feet on the floor, bringing them close to your sits bones, reaching down with your fingers. Take a nice breath in and out here. Inhale, lift the hips, push through the heels. Bring the belly button toward the ceiling, keeping those knees parallel to each other. Push the pelvis up for bridge. And then slowly lower the hips back down. Gently bringing the back to the mat. One more time. On your inhale, push through the heels. Lift the hips toward the ceiling. Nice and high. Push them up. Use the quads. Use the glutes. Really push. Deep breath in and out here. Knees should be parallel. And roll the back onto the mat. One vertebra at a time. And bring the hips back to the floor. All right, take a breath, roll to your side, and then back onto your belly. We're going to take a moment in Sphinx. So the feet can be about hip width apart, elbows under your shoulders, forearms straight in front of you, palms glued onto the mat. Chest is opening forward. Your gaze is soft. Head is level. Really feel the stretch in the ribs. Bring the shoulders away from the ears. Two more breaths here. And then when you're done, you can release the arms back along your body, forehead to the mat. Pause for a moment. No tension in the shoulders. All right, we'll counteract that pose a little bit if you will come back up into tabletop. And then get yourself mentally and physically prepared for downward facing dog. Deep tuck the toes. Fingers nice and wide. Lift the knees. Lift the hips toward the ceiling. Push back. Push your arms into the floor. Pedal out the feet. One by one. Walk the dog. Let the hamstrings loosen up. Relax the neck. Try to get everything warmed up. Nice big breath here. And we're going to find a moment of stillness. Pushing that chest towards the shins. Arms alongside the ears. Shake the head yes. Shake the head no. Find the strength and the stillness. And walk your feet toward your hands for standing forward fold. Slight bend in the knees. Let your chest drape over the thighs. Hands can be on the floor. You can grab the opposite elbows. Get that extra stretch along the back side of the body. The ragdoll. No tension in the face. Just breathing in and out. All right, slowly roll up. 1 inch at a time. No rush here. Slowly bringing yourself all the way up to standing. Take a nice deep breath here. Lengthen the spine. Shoulders away from the ears. All right, I'm going to have you turn toward the side of your mat. And we're going to play with some goddess pose. So if you want to bring your feet about 3 feet apart, your toes will be pointing out at about a 45-degree angle. All right, all set up there, nice and wide. I'm going to have you bring your arms to goalpost arms. And then slowly bend the knees and sit down into the goddess squat. Bringing the pelvis forward, the knees back. Feeling the power. Sink the hips down. Feeling the thighs starting to warm up. Nice and strong. Push those knees back, hips forward. Core in. Two more breaths here. And now you push yourself back up. Release the arms. Turn the toes parallel to each other. The feet will be parallel, about the same width though. If you have a problem with sciatica, maybe even turn the toes in a little bit. Take a nice breath. Lift the chest, lengthen the spine. You can bring your hands to your hips. Hinge forward at the hips, keeping the back nice and straight and strong. Fold forward in to a wide-legged forward bend. Feeling a nice stretch in the hamstrings. Another good inversion. Feel free to shift around a little bit in this. Move the hips around. See if you can get a little bit of extra stretch anywhere that feels good to you. No tension in the neck. Do me a favor. Nod your head yes. Shake your head no, just to make sure. Keep breathing here. Tailbone lifting up toward the ceiling. All right. Bring your toes back to about 45-degree angle, pointing outwards. And drop your hips, your hind end right between your legs. You may need to adjust, bring the feet in a little bit. We're going to hang out in garland for just a moment. Elbows will be on the inside of the knees. Bring your hands into prayer position. Get an extra little stretch there. Or you can just have your hands here if you're getting enough of a stretch. But make sure you've got that chest nice and open, lifted. Bringing those shoulders down. All right, release those hands down to the floor. Bring your legs down. We're going to move into some seated positions and then into some laying positions. And just relax together for the next little bit. So we'll start with cow face. If you can take your right leg over your left. We're trying to get the knees in alignment over each other. This can be really tough if you don't have a lot of flexibility. So adjust as need be. If you have to bring your feet here, whatever feels good for you today in your practice. So these are supposed to look like cow lips. I'm not sure exactly why, but you know, somebody saw it at one point, so that's the way it goes. This isn't all of it. If you lift your left hand, bend the elbow, bringing that palm essentially right between your shoulder blades if you've got the accessibility. Right arm comes out, thumb pointing down, and we're going to bend that elbow and bring the hand behind the back. forearm in contact with the lower back. Stretch the left shoulder, or the left elbow up toward the sky, the right elbow down toward the ground. Spine is nice and long. Breathe into this. One more inhale. Exhale, release the arms. Undo the legs. We will switch them out. So left leg on top, right leg on the bottom. Nice and tall. Extending the left arm, or sorry, the right arm up this time. Bending that elbow. Palm comes between the shoulder blades. Left arm goes out, thumb points down. Bend that elbow, bring the forearm to your lower back. And eventually, hopefully someday, the fingertips shall meet. Right now, they're just stretching towards one another. Right elbow stretching up. Left elbow stretching down. These are supposed to be cow ears. Just so we're all caught up here. All right, on the next exhale, release the arms. Unwind the legs. And come to it. Sitting on your booty, knees bent. Palms are going to be pointing towards your toes, right behind your hips. Elbows bent. Feet about hip width distance apart. We're going to throw it into reverse tabletop for just a moment. Open up more of the shoulders and the chest. Take a nice deep breath here. Inhale. Straighten the arms. Lift the hips. And the belly button up toward the ceiling. You want one nice flat line along the front of your body, looking up toward the ceiling, breathing in and out just like normal. And exhale, release the hips back down to the floor. Take a moment. Let the energy of that pose move through your entire body. And let's come to our backs. This next one, cat's pulling its tail, will set up very much like you would a supine twist. So I'll have you bend your right leg. Right knee comes up toward the ceiling. Use your left hand to gently push that down to the floor. Here, you can set your arm up, elbow away from your body, hand under your head. We'll make it a little bit easier to bend that back leg and grab onto it. Then you can rest your head on that forearm. Open the chest. Get a nice stretch in that quad as you pull the toes of the back foot toward your rear end, in towards your sits bones. All right, release that. Other side. Of course, you can do it without moving. I'm just going to move so it's easier for you to see. So, I'm just going to adjust my back there for a moment. Now, bending the left knee. Guide it over across the body. Bring your elbow under your head, your arm under your head. With that left arm, grab onto the right foot. Relax the head. Stretch that quad. All right, let go of that leg. Roll onto your back, or happy baby. Bend your legs. Bring your knees up to your chest, nice and wide. Thread your arms between your knees, grabbing the outsides of your feet. Press the heels up toward the ceiling. Pull the feet down toward the floor. And move around. Extend one leg, the other. Bring them both in, just like a baby would. Rolling along the spine and the back. Heels up toward the ceiling. Just opening those hips, keeping the back of the spine pressed down into the floor. And then release. Extend the legs. Roll onto your side. And then onto your belly for crocodile. So stack your forearms on top of each other, hands at opposite elbows. Chest will be slightly lifted off the floor, shoulders away from the ears. Lower the forehead onto the forearms. Let the whole body relax. This is sometimes considered a variation of corpse pose. It's a nice, relaxing way to wind down the body. Release that tension. Nice deep breath here. And then in a nice, leisurely manner, bring yourself back onto your back. Take your time. Extend the legs a little bit wide. Feet flop out toward the sides. Arms are alongside the body, a few inches away from you. Palms facing up. Start to release any tension in the face. Close your eyes. Start to bring the focus back to your breathing. This is the most important part of the practice, where everything we just experienced integrates into the body. So keep breathing. All right, we went through a lot of things together. And I just want to maybe see if I can get you to think of creating a new tradition, a way that you can remember those things that you are missing and yearning for, longing for. How you can remember them fondly and appreciate what they were, what they are, what their existence brought you, what it means to you. So just take a moment to breathe and appreciate yourself and those things and all of the wonderful things that you can appreciate about them. I invite you to start to bring your awareness back to your breathing. And start to bring movement back into the body. Wiggle the fingers. Wiggle the toes. Take a nice, big, deep breath in and out. Right here. And as you are ready, roll onto your side, knees bent. Take a moment to enjoy this very natural position. And take your time, slowly pushing yourself back up into a seated position. If you're in a nice, comfortable seat, you can gently open your eyes. And I hope you appreciate yourself for taking the time to really be here for this practice. I always am so thrilled to do these classes for people, and this is kind of my way of bringing us all together and sharing energy so none of us feel like we're alone. So I truly hope that you found something beneficial in this class, and then you could take it with you at least through the rest of your day. I'm so glad you guys are doing this. Thank you so much. You're the best.